What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm gonna be taking you through the only full body workout that you need to look and feel like an athlete. 5 exercises, let's go. All right, guys, let's start with a quick warm up. I feel like I haven't run you guys through a quick warm up in a while, so I will show you some of my favorite full body warm up moves that I've been doing, and it really takes no time at all. So if you're like me and you honestly hate warming up, which I do, but it's really bad skipping warm up, this is you're gonna be your best friend because it's super quick and you feel good and limber and all good to go. Okay, anyways, because we're gonna start with the compound movement, gotta warm up. I like to do side to side low lateral lunges. This is one of my favorite full body / lower body focus warm-ups. Really opens up your hips and it loosens up inner thighs here, your adductors. You really get a nice stretch. And if you feel that your inner thighs get really tight when you work out, especially on lower body focus movements, this side to side low lateral lunge is gonna feel so good and you're gonna feel so nice and warmed up going into any sort of compound movements to start your leg days or full body days. So this is a dynamic stretch, so we're just gonna keep going side to side until you kind of feel really good with this movement. You also want to sit into your ankle here. This is also good for stretching out your ankle. This is really good if you're trying to warm up for squats, barbell squats, and you struggle with ankle mobility. Every time you go into the low lateral lunge, put your chest and your body weight into your knee here to kind of push your ankle forward while keeping a completely flat foot on the ground. And that will help you stretch out your ankle. With this movement too, guys, try and keep your spine neutral as you sit into that lateral lunge. We're gonna do another one of my favorites. Squat into extension. Again, really good for loosening up your ankles and helping your ankle mobility, as well as stretching out your hamstrings. So if your hamstrings feel tight, this is a perfect exercise for that. And just overall getting yourself warmed up and ready for any sort of lower body or specifically squatting movements that you're gonna be doing in your workout. So you should feel that full stretch in your hamstrings while you're doing this, and then you can come sit down. All right, guys, another one of my favorite upper body movements, dynamic movements to get warmed up is banded pull-aparts. So you could either do this or banded shoulder dislocations, which we're gonna do both. So shoulder dislocations are my favorite though. So I kind of just go around like this. And like this, you can do it alternating like that. Or you can just do forward and back. I love this movement though. It really feels so good on my shoulders. My rotator cuff and everything, it kind of just really stretches everything out. My delts feel so nice. Yeah, as you get older, guys, now that I'm 25, I feel I haven't been skipping my upper body dynamic movements like this before I just jump into my workout, because it just feels so good. It's so good to just do this right before you work out. You just don't feel stiff and broken and old. And then banded pull-aparts look like this. Yeah, I'll show you my back. Warm up done. Now that warm up's done, we're hopping into conventional deadlifts. Exercise number 1. Conventional deadlifts. This is one of my favorite full body movements. I consider this movement full body and lower back. So you'll only see me throw conventional deadlifts on a back day or a full body day. You'll never see me throw conventional deadlifts in on leg day. Controversial, I know. Let's start the controversy in the comments, but it's not a leg day movement for me. My leg day movement, deadlift, specifically sumo deadlifts. So sumo deadlifts I will always program on my leg days. Conventional deadlifts are my back day movement or my full body day movement, because this is a heavy lower back strengthening exercise. Yes, I know it's a deadlift, you're working your legs as well, but to me, this doesn't belong on leg day, all right? This is a full body movement or a lower back movement. That's why we're doing it on full body day. And we're starting with it first because it's a compound movement. Compound movements first. Get them out of the way, and then we move on to unilateral movements and or isolation exercises. So compound movement first, because you have your most strength and also it requires the most energy out of your workout. Let's start with the bar, just to get kind of warmed up with the movement. I forgot to mention, guys, we're doing 4 sets of 12, 10, 8, and 8 reps. So the first set will be 12, the second set will be 10, the third set will be 8, and the fourth set will be 8. So climbing up in weight, enough that you can hit all those reps per set, if that makes sense, okay? So the first set was obviously like a warm-up just with the bar. This is gonna be the 12 reps right here with the 45-pound plate for me for the first working set. Okay, for form tips with conventional deadlifts, feet shoulder width apart, parallel facing forward, and it's not an RDL. So we're not RDLing like this, like sticking our bum open like a door, right? Like we're an RDL, you're coming down like this. It's semi-RDL, but not really. You're coming down, almost kind of like an RDL, but you're dipping your hips down, you're sitting your hips down, and then you're coming up. Let me show it here. So it's like minor RDL, because you're gonna come, you obviously have to dip the bar down, right? But you're not gonna do it like this, like a full RDL. You're gonna dip the bar down and sit into the movement, and then up. Dip the bar down, sit into the movement, and up. You see how it's kind of like a dip into the minor RDL, sit down now, and then come up. That's a conventional deadlift. Versus RDL would be like this, right? I'm not sitting, my hips aren't dipping into the movement. I'm just bending my knees, exaggerated, and sticking my bum outwards. But with a conventional deadlift, minor RDL, sit into the movement, and then come up. Again, like all deadlifting movements, you are scraping your shins with the barbell. So the pathway of the barbell should always be so close to your knee that you're basically scraping your shins, okay? Let's jump into it. All right, guys, that was the first working set. Now I'm gonna add weight for the rest of the working sets. A little bit of a form tip as well, or just tip overall for this movement. When the weight starts to get heavy, and with any sort of I feel like compound movement, especially with your legs will always be stronger than your grip strength for the most part. So if you're starting to add the weight and you're like, I can't do this freehand, like my grip is giving out, but your legs still feel strong and your lower back, everything still feels good lower in your lower half, then throw on straps or try a mixed grip. I would suggest mixed grip first. Mixed grip, you're starting to lose your grip, then go into straps. And straps will help you ease that grip pain that you're feeling if you're losing grip with the barbell. And then also neutral spine. Always, guys, find a spot on the floor about 45 degrees in front of you so that you can keep the focus on that so that your neck isn't looking up at the mirror like this and it's not tucked in like this, okay? Neutral spine, so a neutral everything. So when you're looking at something 45 degrees in front of you, your neck will be in line with your spine, with your lower back, and it'll just be this nice, straight, no back pain movement. This exercise is so good for strengthening your lower back therefore that is why I throw it into my full body days. I love it so much. All right, guys, exercise number 2 is gonna be one of my favorite full body exercises of all time. If you know, you know. It's gonna be push press. So again, all my push press haters, the amount of people to this day, that are just unfamiliar, which I don't blame you if you're unfamiliar with the movement, that is fine. We all start somewhere. But don't claim that you are so knowledgeable to the point that you can't differentiate a push press and a military press, especially after I've explained it so many times on basically all my platforms. So all you push press haters that don't know what a push press is and can't differentiate the two, I will explain it again. Push press, you use your leg. There is momentum. There is, not isn't. There is momentum in a push press, hence why it is a full body movement. This is only for my haters. The rest of you guys, I love you. I know you guys know what a push press versus military press is because you guys listen and you're amazing. But all my haters that don't listen, a push press, you are going to use momentum with your legs. You are literally going to push with your legs, bend your knees and fully jolt up with your legs to get the barbell up, to get the weight up. Why? Because it is a full body power movement. Power, think power driving through your legs to hoist that weight up. So it's not just a static shoulder movement. You literally are using your legs to drive that weight up. It helps you lift more weight too, obviously, because you're getting drive from your legs. Versus, you guys saw in my upper body workout that I posted 2 videos ago, I believe, on my channel. That one was a military press, where it's literally basically a static shoulder press, where you're using none of your legs. No bend at the knees, no drive from your legs, completely just still shoulders, where you're just doing this. okay? You see my legs are not moving. They're completely still. That's a military press. Push press is like this. Okay? Like almost like legit, like a mini hop even. Because it's a total full body power movement. Legs, core, shoulders, the whole shebang. Military press is literally just like shoulders with obviously core because you need to keep your core stable. But that core should be involved in all your exercises, guys. Tight core always. Anyways, we're doing a push press after my spiel. We're gonna do 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps. The first set doesn't count as part of our working set. It's just gonna be a warm-up set with the barbell. The 4 working sets will be with our working weight for 8 to 10 reps. Form tip for push press, guys. You wanna hold the barbell right where the rough part starts. So you know how there's that smooth part of the barbell? I line up my thumbs where the rough part starts and the smooth part ends so that I know that weight is evenly distributed and you're not gonna have like plates and barbells being like seesawing on you, you know what I mean? Like the weight not being like even when you're pushing it. You're driving with your legs, eh? So you're coming down with the bar like this. Once it kind of like rests on your shoulders, like pretend the barbell just rested on my shoulders, my legs bend while it rests. So like it comes down, and my knees bend when it comes down and rests on my shoulders. So the barbell rests and I like bounce down and then I bounce up. So it should be like a nice smooth flow, not like it rests and then you bend. A very like one flowing movement, if that makes sense. It takes practice. So don't ego lift with this. Slowly add weight as you get more comfortable with the movement, as you start to perfect your form. Okay, working weight. Let's go. Working sets. Exercise number 3. It's not everybody's favorite exercise, but there are modifications to it to become everybody's favorite and doable exercise. We are gonna be doing pull-ups for 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps. There are 2 modifications that you guys can do if you can't do unassisted pull-ups, the assisted pull-up machine or banded pull-ups. But pull-ups for my full body days are like a must do in my full body workouts. I alternate. Some days I won't do pull-ups. Sometimes I'll swap it out with another movement, which if you guys wanna see another full body workout, let me know in the comments below and I can show you that one too without the pull-ups in it. But on most of my full body days, the pull-ups are programmed in it because pull-ups are an overall amazing upper body movement, but as well as a full-on like strength and hypertrophy movement combined. It's just really great. I love pull-ups, guys. I love it. What can I say? Anyways, let's jump into it. Other modifications for pull-ups, if you can't do the full wide grip pull-ups as well, you can do neutral grip pull-ups. So when your palms are facing towards each other, where it targets a little bit more of your biceps, or if you want to full on target your biceps, most of your biceps, you can do an underhand grip pull-up, also known as a chin-up. But right now, we're just gonna do a full-on wide grip pull-up, which targets more of your lats and your mid-back. Exercise number 4 is gonna be a kettlebell circuit / superset. We're gonna do 4 sets of 20 kettlebell alternating gorilla rows, supersetted, so no breaks in between, right with 20 kettlebell swings. It's gonna be super high intensity, no break in between the 2 exercises. Hence, we are making it basically 1 exercise, not 2. I don't count supersets as 2. And yeah, it's gonna be super high intensity, and we're only taking 30 seconds rest in between each set. So 4 rounds of this, 30 seconds break only between rounds. Let's go. With kettlebell gorilla rows, guys, again, very technical, full body movement, core completely tight so that it protects your spine and tightens up your whole spine, and so you're not curving and you're not arching. Okay, so really tight core as if someone's gonna tickle you. So that way you keep a completely neutral spine, neutral back, and you want to be in like this constant RDL position. Wide legs, almost like a sumo stance. That's how wide your legs should be. It's because the kettlebells need to be on the inside of your thighs. So your legs aren't gonna be like this. Okay, so this is a narrow stance. They're not gonna be like this. They're gonna be wide, like this. So the kettlebells can rest in between your thighs. Okay, so wide stance, as if you're doing a wide RDL. See, guys, if I was gonna do a wide RDL, and you're gonna stay in that wide RDL position. So it's gonna be this constant stretch in your hammies and glutes. So that's gonna be constantly under tension. Your core is gonna be tensed. And then you're gonna have these kettlebells while keeping your core completely tight. This is such an amazing core strengthening and aesthetic core movement, overall athletic movement. You're going to pull the kettlebell back with minor tilt. So you're not gonna do an exaggerated tilt like this. No. Minor tilt, keeping your core tight, neck neutral, still maintaining, like looking at one spot in front of you on the ground. Up, next arm up. Okay, up, up. The reason you see this here under these kettlebells is because the gym that we're at today doesn't happen to have the kettlebells that are heavy and big enough that I typically use. So these are lighter kettlebells, they're also smaller kettlebells, so it's a bit inconvenient. So I had to put this platform underneath to raise it to the standard height that I would be using in terms of like the kettlebells that I'd regularly use. If you have those nice big chunky kettlebells at your gym and they're bigger and heavier weight, you probably don't need this anyways. Or if you struggle with your overall mobility and you're like, you know, your RDL and stretch and it's hurting you to bend over that much, you can also add a platform even if you do have the big kettlebells, because this can help you with like the amount that you're like bending over. So let's go. No breaks, guys, right into kettlebell swings, but let me do a little form breakdown first. So with kettlebell swings, how I explain it to people that kind of struggle with the momentum and it feels kind of choppy to them, you want to let the kettlebell swing take you, if that makes sense. Sounds like you want the kettlebell to possess you. Literally let it like just take you, just let it take you. The motion of the kettlebell, just like don't try and stop the motion or like be rigid with the motion to like try and control it. A lot of people I find when they're doing kettlebell swings and they find it like choppy and they don't know, doesn't feel good to them, is because they're trying too hard with their wrists and like with their mind to like control the momentum of it, because like it feels a little bit hectic, right? Like it's kind of scary, like this big freaking weight is like swinging back and forth and you kind of like, your natural instinct is to kind of like tighten up and be rigid and like control it because you don't want it to get out of control. Literally, don't overthink it. It's fine. Do it in an open area. 9 times out of 10, the kettlebell's not gonna go flying at anyone. But do it in an open area if that worries you. And let the motion of the kettlebell just go. Just let it like flow with you, flow with the movement of your body. So let it go through your legs, up, through your legs, up, through your legs, up. Again, I know I'm wearing sweatpants. Let me just like kind of like, this is really awkward. Don't lock your knees, okay? Don't do this at the top of your kettlebell swing. No. Injury waiting to happen. Go down and tighten your glutes as if it's a mid-air hip thrust. You see how my glutes tighten there? My knees didn't completely lock out dangerously. They went to the full extension to the point that they're almost locked out, but they're not fully locked out. You don't want to lock out your joints. You want to kind of like stretch your muscle all the way to its like full capacity without locking your joints. And that's what a kettlebell swing should be. So it's a power movement, a very like extreme hip thrust forward while you're letting the motion kind of take you. But every time you let the kettlebell swing come forward, almost give it more of a push by hip thrusting forward. So you kind of want that extreme, like fast momentum with it. Okay, I hope that kind of helps. Pull my pants up now. Let's run through it. Last exercise of today's full body athletic day is gonna be another superset / circuit for 4 rounds. So we're gonna do squat into dumbbell press, and we're gonna do that for 12 reps. Then throw the dumbbells to the side, and we're gonna do 15 burpees. You can do modified burpees if you struggle to do the full burpee, or you can do sprawlers, which is also a different modified burpee, which I can show you, but it's gonna be a very high intensity / cardio movement. Everything about this is full body. Everything about this is super athletic, super power movements, and I just know you guys are gonna love it. So, or hate it, but you will love me after you hate it, if that makes sense. Anyways, dumbbell squat into press. Let's go, guys. All right, guys, that concludes today's only full body workout that you need to feel and look like an athlete. 5 exercises. I hope you guys give it a try, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. I think you will enjoy it. This is exactly how I train. If you want to get more of a glimpse of how I train, join my program on the Evolve You app using code MDJ to save 20% off all my programs. But all my full body workouts are basically something similar like this. It's always something new, it's always something exciting. So give it a try if you enjoy it. And this workout should only take you about 45 minutes to an hour, so it's not extremely long either, yet it's super efficient and effective. And yes, I will see you guys in the next one.